My guest today is Suzanne Damms, General Manager of Marketing at MYOB. Suzanne has worked across several disciplines, including brand management, direct marketing, advertising and online marketing. Suzanne, welcome to In Her Shoes.
Thanks, Susie.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted to ask you about your role within MYOB. Tell us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, well, I'm General Manager of Group Marketing at MYOB, and I look after all the corporate elements, I guess, of marketing at MYOB. So that includes the brand, which is obviously a very important part of what we do, plus the website, the online marketing, PR, corporate affairs, market research, cuts across quite a few things actually. And we also have essentially an in-house agency, so we do creative work in-house, and so that falls under my team as well.
Wow, that's a very broad job description.
It is quite a broad portfolio, yes.
How have you seen marketing change over the years?
I guess working in what's essentially a business and technology organisation that I've been, in for 15, 16 years or so, probably the biggest thing has been technology, how the online space has really changed how marketing's happened. I mean, and more recently still, the way social media is starting to impact marketing and really making a difference. It's really, I think, put a lot more power with the consumer or the customer, and we're really starting to see that in terms of, what's happening in the online space, what's happening in sort of major social media things like Facebook, but also on individual pages and how people are engaging online. So that's probably the most recent big change, I think, but I've seen a whole series of technology changes over the time.
You sell technology. Over 1 million businesses use the MYOB product to manage their accounts. But traditionally you were selling boxes. Someone would go to a store, buy a box that had a disc in it, and I don't know, there was probably something before discs. I don't remember.
I can't remember that far back either.
Whereas now, a lot of the solutions you offer only exist online. How receptive is small business to buying software online and then having something like their account, something that's quite sensitive, live in space, if you like?
Yeah, I think at the moment it's mixed, and we're at the start of that journey, and I think we're at the stage where the early adopters are starting to feel really comfortable about it, because I think now most people do internet banking, they buy things online, so people are very comfortable operating in that space, and there are many people who are starting to buy solutions, buy products, buy services online. But I don't think it's really hit the mass of small businesses yet, but certainly we can see more and more people are willing to do that. We see the trends of people coming to the website to buy, really increasing week on week, month on month. So I think it's getting to the stage where we'll really see that ramp up over the next, 1, 2, 3 years.
And I guess other organisations support that in that we buy our music online. That seems a low risk transaction.
Right, yeah.
We might buy a book, an audio book online. So we never really actually have a physical anything.
Yeah.
We have data on our computer.
Yes.
So it's just a general, people getting used to it.
People, yeah, as you say, just more and more comfortable about doing things online. I think back probably 3 years ago, I was comfortable putting my credit card, in a website or online. But I think now people just take it for granted. It's just what you do, and I think people feel more and more happy about security too. I mean, the way organisations set up, they have to make sure things are secure, and it's one of those elements where brand really comes into play, because people look for a trusted and credible brand when they're looking for online solutions, because you do take care of their data and valuable assets in their organisation when they put things online.
A lot of your customers are very small businesses, and I know that MYOB has developed a suite of products that are suitable for small business. What areas do you find small businesses need the most help in?
It varies from business to business, I guess, but I think when businesses, and it depends on the life cycle of the business too. I think when businesses first start out and look to MYOB for accounting solutions, they're really looking to take charge of their finances. They want to see what shape the business is in. They want to understand where the money's going, where it's coming in, who they're paying, who's paying them, and just make sure they're across things. As the business probably gets more sophisticated, they want to look at, projecting forward and understanding cash flows. Cash flow is a big thing for most businesses, but then starting to get sort of really look into the management side of the things, potentially working with their accountant or bookkeeper to see, how they can maximise the profits in their business and really understand where the business is at day by day. And then I think over time, it depends on the business. You know, more and more businesses now looking to get online with websites so they can start to sell things online, so they can be found online. And that's becoming a big area where we're seeing a lot of interest in.
The small business market itself, knowing that they're your customers, as an organisation, what do you need to keep in mind about that audience as you're developing products and services?
I guess one of the big things we try and keep in mind is to keep it simple, because you know, business people, business owners, they want to focus on running their business. They don't want to worry about their accounting. They don't want to worry about a website or those things. They want someone else for the most part to take care of that. So we try and provide solutions that take care of that back end stuff, as it were, and try and keep it as simple as possible so it is easy for the business owners. So the business owners can focus on what they need to do, which is running their business, serving their clients, delivering to their customers, and we can kind of really simplify and make it easy for them in terms of their accounts and websites and customers and more.
One of the things we like to leave our viewers with is real examples of how successful career women have gotten to where they are. What would you say some of the strategies or principles are that have held up for you over time in your career?
I guess a few really. Listening to people, I think, is just a really important part of things. I think it's really important as a marketer in the sense that you need to listen to your markets and your customers, but it's also really important as a manager, because you have to listen to people, listen to your colleagues, listen to the people you work with every day, and I think you just get an enormous amount out of that. So that's definitely one. I think treating people with respect and treating people as individuals is really important too. I think, you know, particularly often I think in a technology world, it's often quite male dominated, and you have to make sure that you don't think about that too much, and you really just look to everyone as individuals and treat them how they find them. And I always find that then people treat you as they find you too. And I think just being open and authentic. I mean, the most important thing I always think with kind of, you know, managing people is something that I've developed a real passion for over time. And I think just being authentic and open with people and making is the best way to get, you know, the most out of things, and to basically be more satisfied yourself and have your team and all the people you work with happier and satisfied and more productive too.
Well, thank you for being open and authentic with us here on the show, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Susie. It's been great.